November 24th, 23rd of November we are in at the moment. So let's start with Ethereum. Ethereum's gone nuts, and the reason why I'm starting with Ethereum is because it's basically like the thing or the platform and the currency that underlines much of the NFT space. Obviously not all. We have multiple currencies and multiple platforms building on the NFT space, but just to highlight that the currency going from pretty much 400 USD to 600, so like up 50% within a couple of weeks, I believe. It's a big deal because it affects how people sell and buy their NFTs. For example, suddenly, instead of buying NFTs, maybe it's a good idea to just keep your money in Ethereum because it's got so much quick gain happening, right? And so this is the period somewhere between 2018 and around here is where we saw a lot of NFT activity. Mostly because Ethereum and Bitcoin were kind of stable going down. So people kind of saw NFTs as like an opportunity, or at least investors did. And now with ETH going up, I think we're going to have a different dynamic. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Although the NFT market is a little bit more mature than last time. So now there's a lot more money to kind of entice people to buy good NFTs, whether it be art, game items, etc. So I'm sure people are going to switch here and there. But as ETH moons, suddenly, buying that art piece for 5 Ethereum is like 3,000 USD now, as opposed to, 4,000 USD, what it was like 2 to 3 weeks ago. So we're going to start seeing some pretty big USD sales numbers. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this ETH kind of doing its thing over the next 12 months, probably mooning pretty hard. I mean, like a lot of people are expecting it to hit over 1,500 USD because last all-time high was around 1,400 USD. So people are expecting this bull run to go much higher because the space is just so much more established. So we may see 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 USD ETH, and when we see that, I'm not sure if we're going to see 5 ETH sales again for like the same art that we are seeing it for now. So again, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. VIDT data link. This is the first time I've heard of it, the first time it's popped up on my radar, but it interested me because it said the first real world NFT asset is on auction on OpenSea. Now I'm pretty confident it's not the first real world NFT asset, but it's a Rolex, so I'll take a look. 215 ETH, and it comes with an NFT, and what it seems like, and you can watch this video, but what I gathered is that the NFT accompanies the watch and is kind of the ownership certificate of the watch. But there's two separate things. So like one person can own the NFT and the other person can own the watch. So it is interesting to see how that plays out, because I mean, if I sell my friend the watch, then I don't have to give him the NFT if I don't want to, and he doesn't know about it. Will that NFT have value if that's the case? If I've got that wrong, please correct me, someone from the VIDT data link team. If that's, if there's more to the NFT, if the NFT is stuck on the Rolex, then okay, maybe that's a different thing somehow. But as far as I understand it, NFTs can kind of move around however they wish. So you can see the NFT being wherever it wants to be. Now, I say it's not the first real world NFT asset use case because we all know MetaFactory and we all know Crypto Kaiju. Now, the MetaFactory sell merchandise, and they also sell their merch with accompanying NFTs, and they give use case to that NFT. So it's not only, in fact, it's not a certificate of the ownership of the real world asset. What happens and what these guys do with it is they kind of incorporate it in a virtual world. So like you can take the NFT and take it to crypto voxels. So whoever buys a hoodie also gets the NFT, and that NFT has value in the virtual world. So it's kind of its separate asset. So you get two assets or two items for the price of the hoodie or whatever you're buying here. And so Crypto Kaiju as well, like they sell kind of toys, the Crypto Kitties. You got this Bitcoin thing, and then you've also got, I think they also do the Doge toy, right? And with that they also sell NFTs, I believe, and it looks like they're being implemented in the sandbox. So the NFT and the freaking hard item product usually has separate use cases. So again, like I'm curious to see what VIDT are doing, what they mean by it's a real world NFT asset that comes with the real world Rolex. Kind of see the real world Rolex. So you get the Rolex, and then you get an NFT with the Rolex. And are they separate things, or like what's going on here? So I think I've got it right. I think they are a separate thing, but the NFT doesn't have a use case. I mean, like if you take this NFT to DCL or Crypto Voxels or something, and that NFT represents the Rolex, that's a separate thing. That's cool. I would encourage them to do that, because suddenly you're giving value to the NFT. I don't think NFTs work well as a pure kind of ownership certificate unless it's kind of pegged, like the NFT is pegged to the asset that it is giving the ownership to. So it has to be somehow forever connected to this Rolex. So like whoever owns the NFT owns the Rolex somehow. It's very difficult to do, right? Async Art, big sale, but to be honest, instead of just the sale, I'm actually interested in this art piece because of the tech behind it. And again, like I'm impressed with Async Art. I always am. I like what they do. I like how they kind of push the use case of what an NFT can do, what blockchain can do, what multiple owners and public verifiability and ownership can do, and all that kind of stuff. Big sale, 140,000 USD is no joke, 260 ETH. Trevor Jones and a lot of money, both great artists. I've seen sold to Max Stealth. So Max Stealth, the man with the unlimited bank account, seems to be buying a ton of art and just crypto NFTs in general. So the piece looks like this, and let's kind of check it out. All right, so it's a piece of Vitalik. It's called Ethboy, and previously they sold ETH Girl back in the day when it broke super rare records at 70 ETH, and that was a collab that came from it. So a lot of money and Trevor Jones, and then these all sold, and then yeah. So the way async works is there's a master layer, which is like whoever controls the kind of final piece. And then there's sub layers or like other layers. So this one's the accessory layer. So you can own this accessory layer, and at any time you can change the look of the piece on Async Art. So, you know, you have multiple owners of the art. You can have multiple controllers of the final output of the piece, but it also programs, like there's stuff programmed within the art. So for example, on specific key dates, the async artwork will also changes to highlight the significance of that particular day. On Vitalik's birthday, Jan 31st, a birthday cupcake appears in Ethboy's hands. Where's the cupcake? There it is. On the day Ethereum was launched, July 30th, a baby ETH iconography appears in young Vitalik's hands. So it looks like that kind of appears here. So different events give this a different look. The background changes, and as the ETH prices and the gas fees change, so does the background here. So when for every 10% price change, Ethboy's background scenery shifts up or down this artistic measuring stick. Here are some rich details. Anything bigger than 10% fluctuation will actually influence young Vitalik's expression. A huge bull run for ETH will result in a joyful smile, and a massive drop will bring on a furrowed frown on Ethboy's face. I can't read well, you guys can tell. Even the butterfly goes up and down according to Bitcoin pricing. Interesting. So the thing moves. Wow, even the butterfly goes up and down based on Bitcoin. So that's crazy. It's like almost every day this piece is going to look different. Last and definitely not least, and this is a really interesting one, and this is what kind of sets it apart from the other async pieces, is that last and definitely not least, the artists have declared profit sharing for the winner of the master twice a year for the next 5 years. They will mint an animated NFT of Ethboy that tracks the last 180 days of change to be sold on OpenSea. So every 6 months, an animated Ethboy with all the changes for the 6 months will be minted and sold on OpenSea. The proceeds from this NFT sales will be split evenly between Trevor Jones, a lot of money, and the current master owner of Ethboy. So say you're buying the piece, you can get your money back and even more if in the next 5 years, if this piece continues to sell. Like maybe these artists are going to be $1 million selling, piece selling artists, probably. And if you're automatically getting, looks like he's getting an automatic 10 pieces that will be auctioned on OpenSea, who knows how much that'll go for. That's pretty crazy. So worthy investment. That's pretty cool, and the depth of it, like it's a revenue share model. It's like something that it's programmable art, as they call it, where it changes based on events and the time of different things happening. So I love it. I love this sort of stuff where the tech shows what NFTs can do. All right, a new type of DAO for NFTs by NFTs. So an NFT DAO where you use NFT as the governance mechanism. So this is something, an article put out by Mintable, a DAO for NFTs by NFTs, a next-gen DAO for NFT Gen DApp. So most DAOs today are built with ERC20s. If you don't know what a DAO is, I forgot what it stands for. Decentralized Autonomous Organization, where basically it's people that collectively have the ability to make decisions on a subject. So for example, Decentraland DAO, whoever owns X amount of ERC20 mana tokens, they have that much weight in the voting power. So Decentraland can, people can propose, we should add more land to Decentraland. And based on how much mana each person has, they cast their vote, and the total vote gets swung yes or no based on who voted, and whichever has a majority mana weight, that decision takes off, and then Decentraland implement the results of that decision. So DAOs are a way for people using blockchain to manage and push forward a company without a central ownership. So sometimes what happens is, and this is the case of DCL, is a company will bring a product into existence, so like Decentraland, and then they'll slowly back off and they'll give the DAO the control of the project to the DAO. So the community will decide what the project goes and which direction it goes. And DCL team will just implement. They won't kind of push it forward. Like they won't make centralized decisions. Eventually, they'll just kind of have funding to implement what the DAO wants, which is us, the community that have mana. Now, the problem with that, with ERC20s or mana, is that, the problem with that is, hold up, let me see if I'm recording. Okay. Yeah, the problem with that, with ERC20s, is I can just buy 10 million mana if I wanted to, and if I'm stinking rich, which I'm not, off Binance or whatever, and then suddenly I have 10 million mana voting power. And, people that have mana probably have somewhere in the range, the majority have some in the range of, say, 2,000 mana to 50,000 mana, maybe some hundreds of thousand mana. But if I just have 10 million mana, then suddenly a lot of these votes become obsolete against me. I can pretty much single-handedly, or with a few whaley friends, kind of push the vote in my direction. So that's the problem with ERC20 tokens. Now, having voting by NFTs, again, is something that DCL do as well, because as with your land, you have 2,500 mana weight power in DCL. So you can actually vote with ERC20s and land using DCL. But in this case, it looks like they're pushing NFTs, so just NFTs to vote. So maybe each community member will get a single NFT, and that NFT may be locked to the wallet, and then that will be the voting power, right? So that's cool to see. Mintable is going decentralized, so we have built the world's first DAO that has no ERC20, but instead voting is done via NFTs. In this case, via Mint, a special NFT each person has in order to vote. So yeah, it looks like they're giving their community NFTs that will have their order of voting. This offers a series of benefits to the user as well as unique propositions for the NFT ecosystems down the road. So I think because of the low liquidity of trading, I think it's not going to see much people kind of fighting for and trading these NFTs and gathering vote decisions. Who knows how it kind of plays out. But this is the early days of MakerDAO, a huge step forward in the creation of DeFi, but now for the NFT ecosystem. Yeah, cool. Mintable NFT DAO, completely novel. No one has created an NFT DAO before. Okay, an NFT pure DAO. Yeah, I don't think anyone's created that before, but obviously people have implemented NFTs and ERC20s in their DAO mechanism. Cool. I like it. Future Art, let's kind of bring this up. This is a pretty sweet event in Sydney. Hope you guys can hear that. A bunch of artists that we know and we love. All of them and more. We love them all, right? Whoever's doing art on NFTs and giving this a shot, whether you're making money or you're not, but you're just learning what can be done in this space. Props to you, respect to you, and I hope you guys continue with it. I'm sure you'll find your success somewhere down the line. But this is cool to see that Sydney, Australia, Future Art are holding the Immersive Rare Digital Art Show will take place in Sydney, Jan 2021. So I think this is the first time a non-virtual event, and I guess it's because we've been mostly in COVID, but this is the first time where I've seen a real world event, crypto focused on future, on like NFTs and stuff. And I think there's going to be a meetup. I'm definitely going to this. I'm definitely going to this, and hopefully we'll meet some of these guys. So that's pretty cool and exciting to do. I live in Melbourne, so I'll have to travel to Sydney, see what's up, see what's going on here, and I am very excited to see what comes out of this. I love NFT art, and to see these all digitally, talk about them, and kind of connect with like-minded people as obsessed with NFTs and art as each other would be a lot of fun. So that's that. Now, starting to see some 3D art in DCL. This is the first of a few that I've seen, which is really cool, because I think DCL should be flooded with 3D art. I think 3D art is a huge use case for virtual land. You own the land, you own the 3D art piece. Suddenly you're kind of broadcasting this, signaling this to the traffic that runs through DCL, which hopefully will be a lot. But even just using Twitter to just put this up and having this look sick, and having people jump into DCL and kind of walk around and talk about it, and do meetups there is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm seeing some 3D art in DCL, which is great. Not because it's Decentraland, just because it's 3D art in a virtual world. Now, whether it's a Somnium Space or CryptoVoxels or whatever, I just love the fact that we are moving to a more, I don't know, I feel like there can be a lot more done with art. Why is it just static images, which is hard to make and requires a lot of skill, and a lot of years and decades go by to get like static art, as in art that doesn't move, but animated art, 3D art that can make use of upcoming tech like VR and AR. I think people will value that. There's a big community that are very tech headed, and it's cool to me. I mean, I am not that much of a collector of static art. In fact, I was not an art collector at all. But now this makes sense to me. Like, I would collect 3D art that I can place on my land and, you know, run conferences around it so people can see what this is. It promotes the artist. People know it's mine, blah, blah, blah. This is not mine, but I'm saying if it was. In fact, I got into art because I wanted to buy 3D art to put on my land. That's literally the reason why I got into art, the NFT art. Because it made sense, right? I run conferences in DCL, so if I had 3D, art in there, it just makes sense. Also, a quick note: I've been using hashtag Maddie NFT under things so that I can just do this. Check this out. So Maddie NFT. That's not my. Thanks to whoever made that. Just wanted to say that is not mine. Just so you guys know, the hashtag is something that I came up with so that people can tag it, and then suddenly I know what's going on. So if people release something cool, gold back ETF, so it looks like someone tagged me there. Oh no, that's a promoted one. Oops. So someone tagged me under here with Maddie NFT. Now suddenly, when I'm doing my 2-minute updates every day, I can check all this stuff out, and I can just be like, okay, cool. What did I tag here? Okay, cool. Add that to my list, etc. So it allows me to quickly do this stuff. So if you come across something cool, big sales, something interesting, something new with the tech, please just use this hashtag Maddie NFT. It helps me just curate my stuff. Now this is not mine. I just wanted to point it out. I mean, kudos to whoever made it. Thank you. And it looks like they're sharing my stuff or whatever the Maddie NFT tags are. Again, thank you. But just so you guys know, this is not mine. Just in case it does something shady. Decentraland Game Jam. So Decentraland are running a 20,000 USD hackathon, where you can dev your way to a game. You can build a game, or I don't think it's just a game. I think it's anything centered around the theme. Save Xmas. Matic contributed to the prize pool. DCL contributed to the prize pool. You win mana, land, and badges. Badges seem like a new thing. So maybe from now onwards, winners start to get badges. All right, cool. That seems kind of new to me. 6 to 10. So 10 places you get mana and land for the top 5, and just mana for 6 to 10. How you'll save Q. All right. You'll be judged on your overall idea, game design, interactivity, wow factor, and more. There's also bonus points if you submit your scene using Matic. So DCL support the Matic library, so you can hook in the Matic library to your scenes now, and I think Matic is going to be live with the wearables. So at least the wearables in DCL will trade using the Matic chain, side chain, the L2. So anyway, that's cool. So whoever's a dev here, I want to give this a shot. It's already started, I believe, 23rd November. It runs for 2 weeks. 2 weeks or 10 days? I think it was, well, what's that? 7 plus 7 seems like 14 days. So yeah, 2 weeks. So whoever's into deving, that's for you. And yeah, I've got some tutorials and stuff, so you guys can check it out and do, learn about how to do that with DCL. But yeah, I am excited to see the tech move. So again, 24 hours or 48 hours over the weekend passed, and we came across a bunch of different advancements. I love it, and we'll keep reporting this stuff because, I try and stay consistent. Believe it or not, guys, this takes me 2 hours to do. It's a 2-minute video and like a 15-minute tutorial video, but this thing takes me ages to kind of put together. So when I've got calls in the morning and this kind of gets pushed forward quite a bit, I kind of slack off. But hopefully we'll be as consistent as I can to update these.